Greetings, greetings. Why does the lighting look so low when I actually get on? I don't know, it's weird. Hi everyone. Greetings, greetings. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for you guys to roll up in here. In the meanwhile, welcome to my page, welcome to my channel, alright? It's your girl Princess Located Wire in the building. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok and on Instagram at princess_Makeda_wire. And also, excuse me. Okay. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, link in the bio, which is where this video is going. I'm kind of mainly making this for my YouTube channel, you know, because I haven't made a video for my YouTube channel in a minute. I know YouTube probably like, where have you been? There's a lighting, baby, because I was like, what's going on with the lighting? Like, I'm not feeling it. But we back. Hey, yeah, girl. Hi. So we got repaint in the building. How you doing, my love? Greetings to Leisha. How you doing, Lele? All right, so we in here now. Today I'm gonna be doing a story time on why I cut my hair, why I cut my locks. If you guys know me, you know that I had locks. If you've been following me for a long time, you know I had locks. I had really long locks. I actually, when I did have my locks, I never cut my hair, so my locks were there with me my entire life. I'm 18 now, so I've had my locks for 18 years. Like, I know I was born with them. Like, I was born with locks, of course, but I grew up having locks. My mom kind of let my hair freeform naturally, so that's all that I know. You know, all I knew was locks. That's all I grew up with. Like, I didn't have a choice of what my hair would be like or look like, you know, because I already grew up with my hair formed into its natural nature. And my hair served a great and amazing purpose, so I'm grateful, you know. However, I don't regret cutting them. I definitely don't regret cutting them at all, you know. I made that decision for a reason. It's not a decision that I wanted to do at first. It's not a decision that I wanted to make, but you know, I seen why it was necessary. Shout out to my partner, shout out to my boyfriend, Esoteric Truth, alright? Esoteric Truth Raw. Some of you guys might know him here on Instagram by that. Okay. Yes, I still have them. I will be doing something personal and private with them. I'm going to keep that to myself. I don't need to know my business. Respectfully, family probably not. It's just that that's a very sacred ceremony for me. So yeah, I'm going to be having a sacred ceremony with my ether, with my locks. That's all that anybody can know. Simple. All that energy in the locks. Yes, all that energy definitely were in the locks, and it was time to let that go. It was definitely time to let go. Hi, Judge Mo. I called you today, but you didn't pick up, which is fine. The time is right. She said you still look good. Period. Thank you, baby. Yes, I do. Beautiful, beautiful. Them locks were down to the floor. Not down to the floor. Now you over exaggerating, but they were definitely there lengthwise. My locks were past my butt. So yeah, I had some really long locks, you know. But he said, "Oh, you look nice. Goddess feeling the short. You feeling it? You feeling it? I'm feeling it too, baby. Yeah." I didn't see you call me. That's interesting, but we'll talk later about that, sis. Today I'm doing my story time. All right, so thank you for everyone here. Thank you for everybody who's watching this live, whether it's watching the playback or you're just seeing this on a video on one of my channels. Yeah, you know what I mean. Welcome, welcome. I'm really happy to have you here. Make sure you follow me and subscribe. All right. But yeah, back into my ether, back into the details. Like I said, I don't regret cutting my locks. I definitely don't. Although they mean a lot to me. You know, they were a very important part of my journey, especially my spiritual journey. As y'all know, I am very tapped in. So, as people say, I live the spirituality lifestyle, right? If you was to describe it. But yeah, so it was definitely like a lot of situations that led up to it. So I cut my locks recently. Today is actually the anniversary, which is why I am doing the story time today, because I cut my locks 1 month ago today. I cut my locks on October 11th, so today is officially 1 month since I have cut my hair. All right, so happy anniversary to me and my beautiful locks, absolutely. But yeah, so let's get into why I actually cut my locks. So you guys, I've been through a lot throughout my life. You know, right now I am facing a transformative period of my life. During these past few years, especially, I'm talking about me being I'm actually 18 right now, for anyone that didn't know. I am 18 right now. My birthday is April 14th. So yeah, I'm a baby, 2005 baby. All right. I know some of y'all might think that I'm older, but I am not. I am a baby. Okay. But yeah, my locks were with me my entire life. So it was definitely like a major shift, a major change, and it was a very intense period for me, you know, going through that transformation. I actually was supposed to cut my locks months ago before I actually did, but I procrastinated on so long until it's just like I couldn't do it anymore, you know. So yeah, like I said, you guys, I've been through a lot when it comes to my life. I've been through a lot of trauma, you know. I've been through a lot. I'm going to get into like why I actually cut them in some of the major situations that I've been through in my life, which is playing a major part here, and why I cut my ether. Hey TT, hey Tiara, how you doing, baby? All right, Aries gang, you already know the vibes, baby. Shout out to all the Aries out there, Aries moons, Aries risings, Venus, whatever. Shout out to Aries in the building. But yeah, so I've been through a lot of traumatic experiences. Like I definitely been through a lot of traumatic experiences. Me cutting my hair was more of a cord cutting situation for me. I didn't just cut my hair for style. I didn't just cut it because I wanted a new style or because I wanted to try something new with my hair. I cut my hair because it was a necessary part of my growth. It was a part of my spiritual journey. You know, my hair was holding me back in multiple ways that I didn't even realize. When I started reflecting on all the things that I've been through and how much of the traits and patterns that I carried on, you know, the imprints that were embedded in my ether, I had to really take a look at that, because it's like, damn, I've been carrying all this baggage around with me for a very long time, you know, and I had to realize that it's a time and place. After a while, you know, it's time to let things go, and it's time to grow, it's time to rebirth, it's time to try something new, right? But I specifically want to get out there that this was not a style and fashion thing. I did not do this just because it's like I wanted to, or, you know, well, it is because I wanted to, but I didn't do it specifically for like style and fashion. I didn't do it for that at all. That was not in my head at all when I made this decision. It was more of a very painful decision. So yeah, it took a lot of accepting. Even when I first cut my hair, I did not like it. It took me a couple of weeks to actually get confident back into myself. It was a very dramatic and intense time period for me. So yeah, I just wanted to get that clear, get that out there. This is not style and fashion, baby. This is not about that at all. This is strictly about healing, evolving, and shedding. Like literally, this is really what it's about. So if you came here to hear something different, you might as well go ahead and head out right now, because you're not gonna hear what you want to hear, baby. Okay? I just want to let that be known for anybody that's in here. Disclaimers. All right. But yeah, so like I said, right now, I noticed that since I'm 17, so 2 years now, I've been being faced with this decision. I've been being faced with a certain period of my life, you know, where it's like I'm at the crossroads. I feel like what I do right now is going to determine where I end up in the future. It's going to determine what the first couple of years of my adulthood are going to look like. And so I take that very seriously. I'm very serious about my life these few years, these couple months. Because I understand that whatever I do now is going to reflect back on where I'm going to be in the future. And I'm very serious about being, you know, successful and being where I want to be in the future. And I'm not going to let anything get in the way of that, including myself. Like, I would not allow myself to get in the way of my own growth and involvement. So yeah, that's one of the major factors I want to get out there, because that is also a big reason why this is even occurring, you know. But yeah, so I gotta like definitely take my time with different things. I'm still young, so it's like I'm learning to experience, you know. I grew up in the Rastafarian culture. If you guys didn't know, I grew up as a Rastafarian. I grew up in that lifestyle. So if you don't know, I grew up vegan all my entire life. I've never had meat. I've never had dairy. If I did have dairy, it was on accident because I didn't really mean to eat it. I'm not that type of stuff. Not into that type of stuff. So yeah, she said, give yourself grace. You have a lot of living to do. Trust me. Thank you, sis. I definitely needed to hear that. Gratitude. I do have a lot of time. I do have a lot of living to do. So I definitely just need to give myself grace and relax, you know. And that's kind of what this period of my life is about as well too. It's like learning how to just surrender, and I'm learning how to drop and let go of a lot of the expectations that I've had for myself. You know, I had to understand that everything isn't going to work out as planned, you know. I'm not exactly where I wanted to be at this age, but I realized I'm actually where I need to be. you know, and that's more important than anything that I thought. You know, who would have thought that I would be here, away from my homeland, away from my family, and where you know, where I was brought up at, where that foundation was built. You know, I'm completely in a different setting now, and I realize it's strictly because I have to learn how to navigate life in my own way. You know, it's kind of like I see sources giving me the chance to experience things, experience life, you know, giving me the chance to make certain decisions, and also giving me a deeper understanding on just my existence itself. So like, it's been a lot of reflecting, it's been a lot of that going on. But yeah, I'm just kind of giving you guys a feel of the circumstances and the energy that led up to the situation. I've noticed my age always played a very significant part in my journey each year. Like I'm 18 now, so this is the year of 9 for me, and it's literally been nothing but completion. It's literally been nothing but shedding, letting go. Like, it's literally been ending a cycle. That's literally what this year has been for me. You know, it's been ending something old. It's me dropping that old identity. It's like the person that I was, the person, all the people, or I wouldn't even say the people, but all the different forms that I've embodied throughout my 18 years of life. It's like none of that matters anymore. In a way it does matter, but it doesn't. You know, it's like that's not me anymore. And so me learning to detach from that has been a very intense process. It has been very intense, but I'm making it through. You know, I'm definitely doing what I do. I think I'm going to start doing these story times more, because it gives me a chance to express myself and to talk about things that I usually don't talk to anyone but myself about, and my partner, and sometimes my cosmic family. But even then, it's like I'm a very closed off person, as you would say, when it comes to my personal life. So this is big for me, you know, actually like talking to you guys about what's going on. It's like me giving you an insight on what's happening in my life. This is new, so I want you to know that you are special if you are here. So yeah, it's been a lot, but I'm making it through, you know. But y'all stay with me. We're gonna definitely get into it. This all plays a major factor on why I cut my hair. So if you're here patiently waiting, I'm grateful, you know, for you listening to each and every word that I have to say and experience. But yes, like I said, I went through multiple forms of myself throughout these last 18 years. You know, I feel like I've embodied multiple different aspects of me, and I'm learning to detach from all of that, which has been very intense, like I said before. But I'm definitely pushing through. I'm definitely making it through. It has been an extremely healing period, an extreme transformation for me. Definitely been a rebirth. So yeah, it's been a lot. But let's get into like the nitty gritty. Okay. So my journey, my spiritual journey especially, started when I was around 13 years old on just a whole different level. I was always tapped in, and I'm realizing, like, ever since I was younger, ever since I can remember, like 6 and up, I've always been tapped into my gifts, my abilities, you know. But it was just natural for me, so I didn't realize until now, like, the actual depths of it when it comes to spirituality. But yeah, 13, 14, the year when I was 13 and 14 played a very significant role in my life. I went through some extreme traumatic experiences there. I was really hurt in that sense. I wasn't safe I didn't feel safe in a certain form. I'm going to get into why, so stay tuned for that. I want y'all to know this is a very intense topic for me, because I never really spoke about it out in public before, but I've been being told for years to tell my story. I know the person that done this to me is going to probably be mad if he ever sees this video, because of the information I'm going to put out there. I'm not going to say his name or any name, but you know, I'm going to keep it a bean, because this is my experience. This is what happened to me. All right, it's the truth. So yeah, I grew up in the Caribbean. I'm from a Caribbean island. That's where I grew up at. I left there when I was 13 years old, and I came to the States, and I was pretty much there for about 5 years. We were supposed to go back home, but it never really happened like that. We ended up staying way longer than we had intended to. But I started to realize that was a part of my destiny. That was a part of my journey. You know, it all happened for a reason. So when I was 13, I definitely moved over to the States area, and a lot happened there. I was staying at my grandma's house, which is a family house. You know, there's her and her children, and you know, then her grandchildren, which are us. And yeah, so the house is like a house of 9 to 10 family members. We're all living together for about 4 to 5 years before everyone separated and went their own ways. So yeah. However, when I was 14 years old, I was sexually abused / molested. I've been through a lot during that time period. This went on for about 3 years. Like, this did not end until I was like 16 years old, and that's because I chose to put an end to it. You know, I definitely chose to do that. I want to say that I was manipulated. I was definitely manipulated into participating in those actions and into doing those things. I don't blame the person at all that sexually abused me. I definitely don't, because I played a part in it too. At the end of the day, I allowed that to happen to me, you know, because I could have fought harder, but I didn't. You feel me? And that's no one's fault but mine, you know. I've come to a place of acceptance with it, though. You know, it doesn't hurt my feelings as much as it did, because I feel like I've done a great level of healing on it. And the secrets that I had towards that were really weighing me down, I had to release that like about a year or two ago. So I'm really at peace with that situation, you know, in my opinion. I feel a lot more at peace with that than I've ever been in my entire life, you know, knowing that I've been molested, knowing that I've been abused. But yeah, so I was sexually molested and abused by my uncle, right? I'm not going to call any names, just know he's my uncle. And pretty much he manipulated me into doing sexual acts with him, right? Yeah, so I don't want to get too in depth into the details, because I'm actually going to do a whole nother story time about that, just being sexually abused and molested and what's that like, and also just to give opinions, not even just opinions, but to shed light and to bring confidence, you know, and healing to other females and young women like me that have been through the same thing at a very young age. You know what I mean? Because you never know who else is going through this in the world that actually needs to hear my video or hear my story, which is why my spirit guides, my ancestors, they tell me to put this out for a very long time. All right, but yeah, so yeah, as y'all know now, I've been sexually abused and molested in that form. He pretty much persuaded me into doing sexual things for him, sexual encounters. Now, he didn't try to enter me gradually back then, like when I was that young, 14 or so, but you know, 13, 14, but when I was about 15, 16, that's when he did try to do that. That only happened like twice actually. I happened twice now I remember. But yeah, and that was pretty much it for that. It wasn't really nothing, like, you feel me? So growing up in my teens, between like 15 and I would say up to 17, I have been confused with like, am I a virgin or am I not? You know, because it's like I felt like I never really experienced sex before, but it's like, in a way, you know, I was kind of forced to, which is weird, you know. But I don't want to put this all on him. You feel me? He didn't know how to control himself. Let's just say that. He didn't know how to control his animalistic natures. And my partner, he really, you know, explained this to me, which gave me a deeper understanding from his point of view, which is why I would never bash him or knock him. You know, I forgive him. I forgive him with love. If he comes to me this day, we're still like, we're tight. Like, you feel me? We're cool. We're cool, tight. So it's like, yeah, but we're not as tight as before. And I don't think we would ever be as tight as before, just specifically because of where I'm at in my life. Yeah, I don't have to deal with that, and I don't want to. So it's just like, we cool. I don't got nothing against him, but I would never, you know, I would never be that close to him in that way ever again. So yeah, that's so pretty much, yeah, that was happening to me for a while. You know, 14, let's say 15, that's when the vaginal thing happened. 16, this is when I put a stop to that. Pretty much I was manipulated because he was going through some things in love. He was really in love with this girl, which is just another story. I'm not going to talk about that because it's going to make him look very sick, which he really is. Okay, so I'm not going to put him up on blast like that. But let's just say he was in love with a girl that he shouldn't have been in love with because they were related in different ways, right? Boom. However, that is my cousin, so I know this person. Like, we were cool as hell, you feel me? Yeah, so he was really in love with her, but she didn't pay him the time of day. Come to find out, they were doing things that we were doing at the time. So the shit that he was doing to me and I was like accepting at the time is the similar shit that they were going through. You know, well, I don't think she or they ever talked about that, or, you know, is anything. That's not my business to speak on. But let's just say they had encounters going on that I had similar encounters with. Boom. Let's just say that. However, he was like in love with her. He really loved this girl, like, which was kind of weird to me at first, but I grew to understand. I grew to understand he has feelings. He's sexually attracted to her. Like, I get it. You feel me? Anyways, yeah. And so he was going through that. He was really hurt about that because she ended up getting a boyfriend, and he was just like, he felt strongly some type of way about that. Like, literally, he felt strongly some type of way that she had a girlfriend. I mean, that she had a boyfriend, and like, yeah, it was like, what the fuck. But anyways, me being the kind-hearted soul I was at about 14, 15 years old, I'm just very loving, and if I get help, I'm gonna help. Like, baby, I don't like seeing anyone in pain. And he's someone that I really love. Like, that's my family member, so it's like I love him like a brother type shit. You feel me? So yeah, I understood. I talked to him through the situation multiple times. I gave him so much advice. Of course, he never really listened to me, but I was definitely there when he needed someone to talk to. Right? I was there for him in that way. You feel me? If he needed to lay his head down on a pillow, I was there. Although I was young, I understood, and yeah, you feel me? I'm coming from a place of, you needing assistance, you needing nurturing and comfort, and I'm naturally a loving person. Now, he took advantage of that. He took advantage of the fact that I was a loving person. He took advantage of the fact that, I had a very big heart and that I cared for him. And so, pretty much I was manipulated into doing sexual things for him, pretty much like oral sex and things of that sort. I thought of doing things in that nature. I was manipulated into thinking that actually helped him through the pain and what he was going through, right? So yeah, first I was forced. I did not want to do that at all. I was definitely forced to do that at first. And it was a consistent thing. Like, he consistently forced me. I never spoke to anyone about it. I didn't tell my mom until like 3 years later. Like, literally, I told no one. No one in the family still even knows what happened. And I'm just going to leave it as that, because I don't want things to get to a place where they don't need to be. However, when it's time for it to come out, oh baby, it's going to come out, and nobody can stop it from coming out. It's just, it is what it is, but right now I was told to forgive, and to speak my part. I had to heal from that. You feel me? I definitely had to heal from that a lot. Yeah. So, like I said, the family don't really know about what happened. So yeah, I definitely been molested, definitely been sexually abused, like, been there, definitely have. So I know how that feels. I was hurt, because it's like I would be forced to do that, and then I was like treated like nothing. Like, there was no affection. Like, you feel me? I didn't get a hug after. You just left. Like, you literally just come down by my bed and just like, we'll chill, we'll smoke, we'll vibe, and then it will be some whole agenda to him trying to chill with me, which is me doing sexual things for him, right? That's really what it turned down to. That's really what the basics of it was about, So yeah, that's where that started. And this been going on, like I said, it's been going on for years, like from 14 to 16. So that's been going on for about 2 years. Like, add up the math, you feel me? So yeah, he just come out to my bedroom. There'll be different things like that going on. I was very hurt. I used to cry. After that. I used to definitely sit there and cry because I felt used. I felt abused. I felt like he didn't really care about me. He only cared about what I could do for him, and that was true. You said you missed it? Oh, I'm talking about why I cut my hair. So I'm going into the depths of the trauma that I've been through. Right now I'm speaking on my sexual trauma, because I've been sexually abused and molested by my uncle, like, a couple years back. You feel me? So it took a lot of healing from that, and I never really spoke about that up in the open. However, for about 2-3 years straight, I've been hearing tell my story. Like, they've been telling, oh, no, the light-skinned dude, that is my boyfriend, that is my baby, okay? I am with him right now. Like, that's my baby, okay? I was abused by my uncle. So, yeah. No, you're fine. You don't have to be sorry for me, girl. I am at peace with the situation. There was a time where I couldn't talk about this without crying. Like, there's a time where I couldn't talk about this without bawling, literally. And so, it's a major growth for me to be able to sit here and have this conversation with you today and not even feel sad about it, It took a lot of work to actually get here, like, and I'm proud of myself. Like, I can sit here and smile about this up to this day. I couldn't do this 2 years ago. I would break down, like, crying, because there was so much pain there. There was so much resentment there. I'm only putting this out there because there may be other women going through this, that might actually need to hear this. You feel me? Like, yeah, this happened for me for 2 years straight, almost every single day for 2 years. So just imagine what I was going through. I didn't have a shoulder to lean on. My mom didn't know shit about it until 3 years later. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, you feel me? my brother and my sister up to this day I never spoke to about. You know, they probably seen certain things, and it was obvious in a way because me and him were just way too close. We were extremely close because I really cared about him. I really did. And so although I felt used and abused, and every time that happened to me, almost every single night, literally, I would fucking sit there and cry myself to sleep. You feel me? I would still always fuck with him. Like, I would still always be like this with him, you know, because I really cared about him. Like, you feel me? I really, really did. And so I put that to the side a lot of times, which is, I learned a lot because I didn't know my worth back then. You know, I didn't know myself back then. It's like, I did, but I didn't. You know, I didn't really know my self-value, my worth back then in that way. And so, yeah, it's just like I had to go through that experience. I'm at peace with that because I got to understand that this is a part of my destiny, my journey. I signed up to being sexually abused and molested. And at the end of the day, I allowed that to happen, you know. I allowed that to happen to me. You feel me? So it's like, I can't blame him. It's a two people thing, you feel me? Two people had to participate. Although I was forced, it's like I could have still didn't have to. I could have told my mom. I could have ended that shit right then and there, baby. I could have, you feel me? But I didn't, you know? And that was my fault. I had to heal from that, knowing that I made that decision. You feel me? I would never blame him for that. That's not his fault, you know? And I forgive him up to this day. I forgive him with love. Like, you feel me? That is my blood. So, yeah. However, he will never be that again. He will never approach me with that again either, because it's going to be a whole other thing. But bringing up all that to say, that's one of the major reasons why I really cut my hair as well too, because that's a major trauma that I've held. And think about it, my hair for 2 years had grown tremendously. So all of that trauma and those feelings, those emotions were locked in that hair. And yeah, it was just time to release that from my life, you know. Although I've done major healing on it, there's still detaching that needs to be done there. There's still cord cutting that needs to be done there. You know, I actually had a soul side to him. I had a sexual cord there that attracted us both. Well, not sexual cord, but I had a cord that connected me to him sexually because of what happened. So it's just like, yeah, you feel me? There was always an energetic cord there, which means that that energy is still lingering in my consciousness. Like, I'm growing, I'm evolving. I don't want that in my life, you know? I want to move past that, which is why I made the decision to cut my hair and to do this decision. But that's not the only reason. There's multiple reasons. We're going to get into that. But this is just one of the major reasons, because of the trauma and abuse that I've been through. Like, for real. That's one of the major reasons why I cut my hair. It's because of that sexual abuse. And, you know, the major effect that had on my life, that had a major effect on me, you know. That plays a part into why I'm the person that I am today. If I wasn't sexually abused, I would still be me and do what I do, but it would have been in a different way, you know. So I'm grateful for everything that happened to me, because it brought me right here, right now, you know. And that's amazing. Looking at me right here, right now, I am with a shit, baby. So I would never regret any experience that I took to get me here. Like, I did that, and I did that, and I accepted with grace, and I accepted with love. Like, you feel me? Yeah, I participated. Yeah, I did that, and it is what it is. If you want to judge me, hey, so be it. I don't care. You feel me? I don't give a fuck about you and what you think in that way. I love everyone, but I will never let somebody else's opinions validate me, because I validate myself. I'm self-validated, baby. So whether you for it or not really don't affect me. You feel me? Yeah. You know, so yeah, I want to say it did bring my self-esteem and my confidence down a lot going through that. But you would never know. No one ever knew, because like, I still always was confident in my journey and who I am, you know, what I'm about. Like, yes, I was hurt, you know, yes, I was abused, but you feel me? I didn't let that stop me from my purpose. I didn't let that stop me from learning my crystal. It's crazy, because I was really into crystal. That's when I started learning how to channel and a whole bunch of stuff. I felt like my creative aspect. I grew up making jewelry, you know. I stopped doing a lot of that when I was going through that experience, you know. When I was going through that abuse, that sexual abuse, it disconnected me a lot from my creativity. I wasn't making jewelry a lot no more, you know. I would crochet. That's something that I did pick up, is crocheting, but even then, it's like it was still a disconnect in my creativity. I didn't draw as much until later, until I started really healing, you know. So it's just like, yeah, that creative part of me that I've always loved as a child, that was blocked off and that was shut off because of what I've been through, because of that abuse. And I did recognize that. So yeah. So there's that. I'm trying to get to the part that I'm really trying to get at here. Hold on. So that happened. That was going on for a couple of years. Like I said, I used to cry myself to sleep. Like I was very sad. You know, mentally, I felt like I was being used, which I was. I felt abused, which I was, and it's like I felt unvalued. I felt unappreciated. You know, and I did give him that cold shoulder, but he used to always like act weird towards me, and it made it seem like, you know, I don't care about him. And that's where the manipulation started, you know, because I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this for you. You know, I don't want to do it. And it's like, oh, you don't love me. You don't care about me. Da, da. And so that's why I would do it, because I do love you and I do care about you. And so in the form, he used those words as manipulation to get me to do what he wanted to do, because he knows how I feel about him. He knows how much I care, you know. So it's like, yeah, that's how it's the manipulation of me end up doing that even started. That's really how it started, me being manipulated in that way, until I learned that it don't matter, period. It's like, if he's disrespecting you, if you don't feel loved and worthy, then fuck it, period. But back then I was a people pleaser, you know. I was about validation. I didn't self-validate myself. I didn't have that strong self-belief and self-worth back then. You know, I cared a lot about other people as much as I cared about myself, but I put other people over me, you know, and it took a lot of realizing to even see that where I was wrong at in those forms. But I take full accountability, because I was definitely a part of that, and I allowed him to do those things. I participated, you know. There was times where I openly, willingly did that. So it's like, yeah, I would never like bash or blame type shit. So yeah, that's where the manipulation took place. That's where all of that started happening at. So yeah, basically, yeah. Then when I was about 16, I met a lot of different people. But, you know, that's when I really started to learn a lot about my worth and where I'm going, and just like my journey, who I am. And so I was just like, no. Like, I just put a stop to it. Like, I was just like, no. Let me hold on. Let's backtrack real quick. Let's backtrack. So I was already hurt from the oral situation. Like, I was hurt because I was being used, you know, and abused in that way. So of course, that definitely was painful. Took a lot of releasing there. But peace. What's up, Caleb? Hey, how you doing? It's nice to see you. Can you tap me up, please? You come back for it. Hand me a lighter. Give me 1 second. Beautiful hair. Thank you, Caleb. I appreciate like you, bro. Quick break. Hold on. I'm gonna tell y'all. What happens? So, yeah, that's when that happened. So the manipulation and that aspect of that abuse that's where that started. That's where that went on. Yeah. So when I was 15 now, that's when things like got a lot more intense for me, because that's when, let's just say, the abuse got worse. It went to the next step. It went to the next level. Even though that only happened once or twice, you know, it definitely hurt me, because I was like confused. I'm like, I didn't know if to classify myself as a virgin or not a virgin, because it was just like, what the fuck am I, you know? And so it was confusing. It was very hard. Keeping that as a secret to myself, you know, without telling anyone, was very heavy. That shit was heavy as fuck. Like, I didn't say shit to nobody. Like, you feel me? Not even my own parents. So that shit was heavy as hell. I was carrying that around doing a lot of crying, a lot of releasing behind the scenes. My mom used to always be like, "You good? Yeah, mom, I'm good." No, nigga, I was not good. I was not fine at all. Like, I was all types of fucked up on the inside. Feel me? So yeah, there was that, and that's when it's like that. The next year, that 16, I noticed there was a lot of growth. My path, my destiny was illuminated on a different form. I felt like I transformed into this different, more upgraded version of myself, and so it's just like that's when I put up those boundaries. That's when boundaries were established, because it's just like I'm just like, if I don't want certain shit in my life, it doesn't have to be there, you know? And that's when I started establishing the boundaries. That's when I stopped, participating in people pleasing. I said, fuck all that shit. You feel me? Boom. And I got much more confident in myself. When I was 16, that's when a lot of y'all met me. Here on Instagram. Like, Jay Giddens the father. You know me from back then, 16. You remember me from back then. Actually, when y'all met me, I was actually still going through that. I was still going through that oral abuse. I was still going through that whole thing. You feel me? But I definitely cut it into it. Like, I definitely did. That year was the breaking point. And I really started shining. Like, I started putting myself out there. Like, I was shining on my whole different level. Like, you feel me? I was out here. You could ask anybody, you feel me? Talking about me 16 years ago. Like, niggas, it was just a different type of time for me. I was very confident, extremely expressive, like, very, very, like, confident in my journey. It was just like, yeah, you feel me? But nobody knew what I've been through because I never talked about it. So it's just like nobody knew. But 16, that's when I really started putting myself out there. Like, I really became a lot more confident within myself. And so that's when I definitely started establishing those boundaries. Like, I'm like, yeah, nah. You feel me? So it came to times where he would come around and try to do those things. I was just like, no. Like, he'll be mad. I don't give a fuck. It just came to the point where I don't care. You're not going to play those manipulation games on me. Those you don't love me. Those you don't care about. You're not going to do that. You feel me? I've been there. You feel me? I learned from that multiple times. Because you said that, nigga, and you kept doing the same shit. So, nigga, I learned. After 2 years, I definitely learned. I said, hell nah. And it, like, yeah, he was angry about it. He was mad at me for a while. He tried to act like he wasn't talking to me and da. I didn't give a fuck. You feel me? It didn't come to a place. And then what happened is he ended up getting a girlfriend. Yeah, he ended up getting a whole girlfriend. I'm like, the fact that you got a girlfriend again and you still coming down here, you're weird as fuck. Nah. So that's when a lot of the shit got cut off. But that's when his girlfriend came in. And weird enough, I'm not even going to say too much because it's going to make it obvious to her because she do watch my channel. But it's crazy as shit because we're like zodiacs when it comes to months. When it comes to days, we're like right there. Like literally like right there. Like we could be sister twins. Like fuck, you feel me? Well, we're different ages, of course. But you feel me? Like it was just ironic. Come to mention, I'm an Aries, so we're all in that boat. Just, you feel me? So yeah, like it was just crazy. Like there was a lot going on. And the fact that he was still disrespecting me by coming down here and asking me to still do those things for him, knowing that, and I'm like, you got a girlfriend, it's just like, you're really heavily disrespectful. So I put those boundaries up, and I was like, nah, fam, that shit's over. Them days are over. You better enjoy it while it was going, because you ain't never getting that again. I'm like, nigga, no, you're shit. You're done. You're burnt, and it is what it is. He was salty. Hey, feel how you want to feel about it, baby. I'm in my peace now. I'm putting my peace first, baby. So it's like, yeah, I'm stepping into a different level. He learned and grew to respect me, So although those things wasn't happening, we were still close and we were still cool. We would still talk about that because it was a major part of our relationship. But it's like, I've learned to put that behind me and move forward, and I forgave him. So it's just like, yeah. However, I was still hurt. I was definitely still hurt by everything that happened. You feel me? And it's crazy because I'm going to do another story time talking about specifically this, but this plays a major part in why I cut my hair. Hold on, let me read the comments. That's why my head flexed up, because you were so innocent and sweet, laughing out loud. Aw, you stepped way into Oya though, laughing out loud. Wow. Thank you, Jay Giddens. I feel joyed that. Thank you. I feel joyed your comment. Gratitude. Thank you for sharing your life experience. Of course, my love. You're welcome. I'm happy to be able to share this with you too, you know? It took me a while to actually get to this space to be open about it, you know? But yeah. So that's what happened in that form. I definitely started establishing those boundaries. Like I said, we were cool, you know, we were good, but it was just never no strings attached in that way. And yeah, it is what it is. That's what it was. I love your hair. Thank you, baby. Yeah. Now this is where things did occur differently in that situation, because I ended up talking to my mom about it. You feel me? Okay, my bad. I got a message. But yeah, so there was a couple years I listened to this Isis Wisdom. Isis Wisdom is my spiritual mom. You feel me? I love Isis Wisdom. So yeah, that's my spiritual mom. That's mom right there. Like, yeah, period. So if you know, you know. I'm the realest to ever do it here on Instagram. Shout out to mom. Boom. So that's my mom. However, I didn't meet her yet, you know, so I didn't really know her like that back then. You feel me? Yeah, I didn't really know her like that at all. But I followed her, and it was weird because I never followed her until like recently back in that time. You know, I first time following her since I was 16. You know, meanwhile I was following other people before. I've always heard about her, but I never, you know, encountered with her. Long story short, I started following her and I started looking at all her videos, and she did this live, and she was talking about there was this eclipse coming up. Oh my God, yes, there was this eclipse coming up. There was definitely this eclipse coming up, and she started putting it out there. You feel me? She was like, "Look, if y'all gonna deal with y'all shit during this eclipse, it's gonna come up to the table." Like, you feel me? That was a big secret that I had. You know, not telling my mom that I've been molested and sexually abused by my mom. But that's something I didn't say or talk about. So I never told my mom about that. You know, and she's a major part of my life. My mom is a single mother. She's all that I know. I grew up with her all my life. She was there every single day, every step of the way. So it's like, yeah. I never told her about that. Back to this time, I was talking to my twin. He's now my boyfriend, of course, as y'all know. But long story short, I was talking to him after watching the live. But let me finish talking about the live. So I was listening to Mama Isis, and she was just saying, like, if y'all don't put y'all shit out there, you feel me? If y'all don't forgive, if y'all don't release, you know, really get the truth out on the table, if you keep holding it in and not crying the way that you really need to cry, she said your shit's gonna be bust out. She was like, you better do your shadow work. You better get that shadow work done. You better start working on that, okay? Because she said this eclipse is gonna be busting everybody's shit out the window. And I was like, damn. And it's like, listening to her, it felt like she was talking directly to me. She was like, she knew exactly what I would do. She knew exactly what was going on, and she told me exactly what I needed to do. Even though I never met this woman a day in my life, and she never met me. It was just like, what the fuck? But yeah, she was literally like, yeah, you better. She literally was like, yeah, you better get the shadow work. You still haven't cried the way that you need to. She said, you still holding back. You haven't sat there and cried the way that you need to cry about it. You ignored your feelings. You tried to suppress it, which I did, which I definitely did. You know, she was just calling it all out. Like, she was calling it all out, literally bringing it all out. She was just saying, like, if you don't deal with the secret, mom, babe, can you call mom? Because she's calling me. Tell her I'm on the live. My bad, y'all. Talking about mom, Isis Wisdom. She's actually calling right now. But yeah, so that's literally the first time I heard about Isis Wisdom. Like, not heard about her, but that's the first time I actually watched her. You know, it was that live, and she busted it out. Like, she literally was just talking about her. She literally just called me. But anyway, like, she literally just busted it out. Like, boom. You feel me? She was like, yeah, you better get it out there. Stop holding the secrets. Say what you need to say. Get it out there. You know, you holding back. Da, da, da. And you know, mom, she is very straightforward. She is stern. She's not going to bite her tongue. So when she said, it's going to hit like a motherfucker. That shit hit me. She was calling me out. I felt like literally, she was just saying everything. She just called me out. Like, whoa. I'm like, damn. All right. So after that live, shit got real for me. I'm like, shit finna get real. I noticed that I really had to work on myself, and I had to do that shadow work, because that's something that I didn't visit in about 2 years, you know? So it's like, not in about 2 years, I lied, in a couple of months. I didn't visit that hurt. You know, it's something that I ignored for 2 years. So yeah, me listening to her do that live really illuminated a lot for me, and it really made me realize, okay, it's time. Like, it's time to stop ignoring it. It's time to deal with this trauma. It's time to go back to that. It's time to actually heal from this. So I realized that one of the first steps I was going to have to take was telling my mom. Oh my God. That shit, I didn't know how to feel. Oh, I did not know how to feel, because I knew how to feel, but it's just like, I didn't want to tell my mom at all because I didn't know how she was going to react. That's her brother, that's her little brother. So it's like, I didn't know how to tell her. I don't know. I thought she was going to look at me some type of way. You feel me? Like, I thought she was going to be disappointed in me. And I was just scared. So I didn't want to tell my mom because I felt like she was going to get over. I just felt like I didn't know how she was going to react. And I didn't think she was going to take it well. So I didn't know how to tell my mom. It was just on my conscience. It was bothering me so bad. And I talked to my mom about every single thing. But ever since that happened, I've been very distant with her, And she noticed that, of course. She always told me she didn't feel comfortable with the way I was around her. She was very adamant about that. So intuitively, my mom knew what was going on. Like, intuitively, she knew. So, boom. I realized that I definitely had to tell her. After listening to Isis wisdom, I know, like, yeah, I'm going to have to tell my mom now. Like, there is no holding back. If not, I'm going to be stunting my own growth and my own healing. And it's like, I want to continue evolving spiritually. So, I gotta say something. You feel me? So, yeah. I talked to her about it. I'm actually going very in-depth in this. So, I think I might just make it one thing, right? But yeah, so I realized I had to talk to my mom about it. Boom. I was like, yeah, all right. And that shit, it took a couple of days for me to tell her. Like, it took a couple of days. I had to work up the confidence. Okay, I had to heal some before I could even bring this to her attention because I didn't know how she was going to react, and it was just bothering me. But I told her on the day of that solar eclipse. I remember I told her. Boom. I knew I had to tell her, so I was talking to my twin before I told her. My twin was like, yeah, you got to get this out. I told him everything about what happened, and he's actually the only person, that I've ever told the full story to. I didn't even tell the full story to my mom, but he's the only person I told the full story to. And yeah, he was there. He was that listening ear. He guided me through the process. Like, I really feel joy him. Not feel joy him. I do feel joy him. Don't get me wrong, but I really appreciate love him, and I really value him. He means so much to me. I don't even understand how much I love that man. Like, oh my God, but he was there for me in my healing. So he was just like comforting me through the process. Like, yeah, you definitely got to tell her, build up the confidence. I was just expressing it to him. He was listening. He was there. He gave me great advice. I'm just so grateful for him. Because I don't think I would have been able to got through it fully the way I did without him, So, boom, that happened. I talked to him literally like 5 minutes before I was going to tell her. I talked to him, and I hopped off the phone with him. I was sitting by a tree, literally crying. I was crying straight for like 2 weeks because Isis Wisdom was like, you're holding back. And it's like, when she said that, I had to just let it go. I was crying watching live. Like, there's no way I could hold back the pain anymore. It's just like, I had to let it go. So I was just crying and crying and crying, holding it in. Nobody knew what I was going through, but behind the scenes, I was bawling like, baby. Boom. I told my mom about it, and I told my mom about this. I did. The day of the eclipse, I told her. And it's crazy because I came up there crying. I wasn't even crying at first. I was crying before, and then I started crying so I could tell her. And when I came up there, I was like, Mom, I got something to tell you. And I just started crying, like bawling. And she came, she gave me a hug, and she said, such and such and such, this and this and that. And I was like, yeah, she already knew. She literally already knew. And she just comforted me through the process, My sister came up, but she had no idea what the hell was going on. She just seen, us having that moment. And after I told her that, y'all, oh my God, there was like this heavy weight that was on my shoulder. Got lifted. I felt so light, fam. I felt like there was literally something that came off of me. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Some shit came off of me that day. I felt like a giant weight on my shoulders just literally like left. And not metaphorically. Nah, nigga. This shit really happened. Like, I really felt like there was some shit on my back and on my shoulders. And that shit literally like lift up and was gone. I was like, whoa, I felt so light. I felt so happy. I was like feeling happy straight for about 2 months after that whole situation. I was just so happy, bursting out in just joy. After I told her, I went outside to the sun. I started seeing these fucking geometrical shits. That's when I got back into my drawings. I started drawing. My light language came online. Like, I started activating on some whole shit. You feel me? My chakras were expanding. They were activating on a whole nother level. So that happened right after I told her this. So this is how I know, like, Mama Isa, she was definitely right. I'm living testimony of that shit. Because, like, she said, if you do release it and finally face that, you're going to be able to evolve and grow. And I did. I definitely did majorly. So, yeah, that's how that went. You know, it was a very, very empowering story for me. I'm really happy that I'm able to talk about it now and get it off my chest. But I'm also really happy that I was able to tell my mom and make peace with it. And, you know, I'm happy I was able to forgive him. I wrote letters to him forgiving him, even though he never got the letters. It was about me releasing that and saying what I needed to say, and I did. And he knows how I feel, and it's like I move on, you know. And yeah, that's basically how that went specifically. That was an amazing experience. It was beautiful, even all the bad things that happened, even the abuse is like, it was still beauty in it, you know. I looking back at it now, I'm happy that I went through that, you know. I'm proud of myself for going through that, and I don't regret going through that at all. Like, I really don't regret it. I don't. I would go through this all over again, specifically because of the growth and the learning process, you know, specifically because of the beauty in it. Yeah. So that changed my perspective on a lot of different things, and that was the beginning to a whole new journey in my spiritual awakening. Like, it was different. And I had my locks back then, of course. That was the major situation that impacted my life a lot. So that's one of the main reasons why I cut my hair. It was specifically healing and cutting cords with that trauma, with that person, with that energy, you know? So yeah, there was that. And also, like, I used to lie. I used to steal. Literally steal from the stores. Innocent little me, I definitely used to steal. Up to about a year ago, I was stealing. Literally. I recently stopped doing that because I realized that it was going to bring me karma, and I knew it wasn't right. You know, I would get this feeling in my solar plexus every time that I stole that I shouldn't be stealing. And yeah. Stealing, lying, like I said before, definitely was lying, doing a lot of lying. So I had to heal from that. And also just the person that I was, you know. I was a people pleaser back then. My father, he was barely in my life. I'm still healing from my father, you know, not being around. That's another thing I have to cut cords with in terms of the way that I felt towards him. Not only that, you know, I've been through multiple different things with multiple different people. There's people that I used to talk to here on live. You feel me? Not here on the live, but people that I used to talk to on Instagram. I'm not going to say any names, but pretty much, yeah, I had like boyfriends and shit before that I used to talk to here online relationships, people that I really cared about, you know. So you could say we weren't dating, but you know, we used to talk. Those people that I also want to cut ties with because there was something that you called astral sex that was going on. People may not know about that. But yeah, I was in relationships with people here online where we would actually do those type of things, and that shit would happen, which created an energetical cords. I have to cut cords with all of those people and those things. And it was only mainly one person that I was connected to in that way. I really loved that person, but you know, I had to let him go because he wasn't contributing to my healing journey, and he was definitely holding me back in different ways. If you see this, you know who you are. No shade to you, but I had to grow and I had to evolve. It's just that simple. No shade, no love lost, you know. But yeah, I was in a lot of karmic relationships. Not only that, I also met a lot of people online that I've been through things with. There was this lady, I thought she was my mom. She did a lot of manipulating. a lot of manipulating. I went through a lot of people wanting me to be who they thought I was. I've been through a lot of that. I've been connected to a lot of different people that didn't have the greatest intentions towards me. I knew people that I was connected to that did magic on me, black magic on me, that threw negative intentions my way. I've been through that as well too. So I've been through that level of spiritual warfare. Been there. I'm here in my journey where I'm not at war with anything or anyone. I'm not spiritually being attacked. I'm not spiritually warring with anyone. I'm strictly here to help myself and the collective consciousness evolve, and grow. I'm here to guide myself as much as the collective consciousness, as much as I can, to enlightenment, to the next journey. To enlightenment and their path, their destiny, to help them get to the next stage of evolution. That's my purpose. That's where I see I am at. I'm not in a spiritual war. I'm not warring with anyone. I'm not at war with any beings. I'm not none of that. It is what it is. I feel like everyone serves a purpose. At the end of the day, we're all connected and we're all one, whether we want to accept it or not. And so that's kind of where I'm at with life, But back then, it was a different story. I was definitely getting attacked because I was partaking in things that I shouldn't have been partaking in. I was consistently, it's like I was being told not to be around these people and to leave these people alone. I'm not going to say any names, but I didn't. I was still talking to them because I love people, and I was a people pleaser. I often put people before myself back then, which was something that I had to heal from, which is something that I had to learn. So yeah, it was a group of those people, a lot of manipulating going on. People were doing magic on me and acting like they were my friends and my family, doing deceiving magic and illusion spells on me to try to make me believe something else than what is actually true, try to get me to doubt myself and go against my heart, try to tell me my actual children aren't my children. So it's just like, yeah, I've been through a lot of that, and I just say I've been in connections with people that didn't have the best intentions towards me. And so because I went through those experiences as well, that's another major reason why I'm cutting my hair, is to cut cords with all those people, all those places that I once were, like the house that I was abusing. I went through a lot in that house, the house is very draining, it's toxic, there's all type of demons and energies and spirits rolling around. I was literally getting raped by fucking spirits in that house. Like, I was literally not physically being raped, but I could literally feel them sexually on me, like literally. And you're looking, there's no one's there, and your covers is moving on its own. That's how you know some shit's going on. I never told nobody about that because niggas wouldn't know how to take that, and people would think I'm crazy. So I never said anything, but that definitely was happening. There were actually spirits in our house that were sexually trying to do shit, and yeah. So there was that. I want to cut ties with all that. You feel me? I've been through a lot in that house. I've been energetically drained. I've been through things where, you feel me? Even the person that I got abused by, he had entities on him. Everybody in that house had entities on him and energies on him. So going to school was just a lot for me as well too. I didn't really like school. I don't fuck with school like that because of what I've been through in school. Not in a bad way, but not really what I've been through in school, just like the concept of school and what they teach in school. I don't really like. I never really liked school. You feel me? Yeah. I used to get bullied in primary school, but going to high school, I didn't get bullied at all. Everybody loved me in high school. I was such a sweet person, and I was very different. I didn't try to be anyone else. Now I did when I was going through that situation. I went through this phase where I tried to be like these Americans, I wanted to wear Jordans and wear hoodies and jeans and shit and look cool. That was the new thing back then. That's how my age group was. So, I wanted to be like everyone so I could fit in. And I definitely did try, but it still never worked. I never fit in because it's just like I was always just different. My hair also always made me stand out. It was a big part of my identity, a very big part of my journey, a very big part of, my character and who I am. Like, now I won't say my character, but my character is in the way people will recognize me or know me, like my identity. It played a very big part in that because of, like I said before, I grew up in the Rastafarian culture. I grew up in that lifestyle. So yeah, there's that. Say all to that to say I went through a lot with school, but high school years, I was forced to go to school last year. I did not want to go to school at all, but I went, and it was a very empowering year. Although I didn't really like the work, of course. I wasn't there for the work. I made a difference in that school because let's just say, what's the word? I'm trying to find the right word. I was a very great role model and example for a lot of young girls and males in that school. I was different, and different is something that you don't really have a lot. So people appreciated me and they valued me for who I was. I didn't fight to fit in last year at all. I was just being my true goddess self, like literally me, embracing that divine feminine energy, being that goddess that I am. The way I dressed, the way I talked, what I was into. I was very open about my spirituality. Like, yeah, So people respected me in school, and everyone loved me in school and liked me in school because of that. And the those that didn't like me, of course, I never knew them because they never was bold enough to say anything to me, and didn't act any way towards me. I noticed that when I was in my era of being self-empowered and I was being my authentic true self, stop wearing a mask and stop trying to fit in to my school and the collective there, I noticed that I was respected more at school. I was definitely respected a hell of a lot more, and I was never bullied. I didn't get bullied at all back then, last year I didn't get bullied at all during that school year. None of that. Like, all that stuff I went through the first couple years of school, I didn't go through any of that when I went to school last year. And it's because the energy that I was in, so the energy I attracted to myself was just strictly love. Everyone loved me. Everyone supported me, and that's strictly because I loved and supported myself. Back then, I didn't love and fully support myself because of the things that I would allow to happen to me and the things that I would do, and so I attracted people that didn't love and respect me. It's just simply what you attract what you are. And me knowing that, I learned that when I went back to school, it was different when it came to the energy that I attracted and brought to myself. I definitely noticed that a lot. This is why it's important to be yourself. You will always be respected more for being you and not trying to be somebody else. Boom. Because that's when the bullying stopped for me. You feel me? And everyone loved me. So yeah. But also just really to cut ties with all of that, So me cutting my hair, I made the decision to cut my hair earlier this summer when I came here. If you guys don't know, I'm actually in Mexico right now, right? I'm not going to say which part of Mexico, just know I'm in Mexico. I'm chilling in Mexico down here, you feel me, I'm vibing. Here has been a very much healing journey for me. My counterpart, my boyfriend, he has been encouraging me a lot, throughout my journey. He actually suggested that I comb out my hair. He didn't want me to cut it, he just wanted me to comb it out. But, I started doing that, and my guys and my ancestors stopped me, and they said not to, They said to just cut it, and I did. It took a lot of crying. I was crying a lot when I was combing my hair out. It made me think of all the trauma. It also just made me think of my old self. I started to realize that old identity, the person that I used to be is fading away. And it was a lot, it was definitely a lot for me going through that process. So I definitely stopped combing up my hair then. I was just crying and, accepting the fact that I'm going to cut my hair and it's time to let go. It's time for me to cut cords with all those people, those old relationships, that sexual abuse, being lied to, being manipulated. It was time for me to let go of all of that. It's time for me to let go of the pain that came with that. It was time for me to let go of that energetic energy. It was time for me to let go. This is why I cut my hair. It's time for me to move forward with my life. So yeah. Another major reason, it was just definitely that time, like my hair was showing, even in my hair's physical appearance, my hair was thinning out, it was getting very dry, it just felt dead and dense, like my hair felt dense and dead, and I love my hair, I always will, it was always a part of me, I've been with it for 18 years until now, it's gone, but yeah, my hair, it was just a lot. What really hurt when I made the decision to cut my hair is just the fact that my hair was going to be gone. Like, I wouldn't have any hair, that's been there all my life, that I never cut, never ever touched. It's like that was gone, and it's like it made me think of me with hair, all the versions of myself that I have been since I had my hair, and I started to realize it's definitely time to let that go. That's outdated energy. is connected to people, things, and just cords, thought forms, patterns, traits that are no longer serving you. You know, yeah, it was really time to let go and move forward. I took the mushrooms back in the angelic beach retreat. That changed me. That changed a lot of my life. Like when I took those mushrooms, that was my second time ever taking mushrooms ever. My first time taking mushrooms was 18. Yeah, so I just started this year. I took too much. I had too much sessions so far this year. But yeah, that second one was the angelic beach retreat with Mama Isis, and yeah, we were doing that retreat, and I took those mushrooms. I took like 3 grams. I took more than everybody there, and I didn't even realize. So, but yeah, I took more than everyone there. I didn't realize until after that nobody else took 3 grams. I was the only one, but it was a very intense shedding for me. It was a very intense shedding for me. I had to look at a lot of things. The mushrooms brought out a lot. You know, they showed me a lot of things. I had to apologize to my partner. I had to apologize to myself and my crystals because I just wasn't treating us right. You know, I wasn't showing the love, and I wasn't able to be there for them the way that I wanted to because I wasn't being there for myself. I realized I was neglecting a lot of aspects of myself. I was neglecting a lot of pain, and I was just holding back on a lot of different things. So the mushroom trip was a different level of awakening for me as well, because it made me realize a lot. It made me do a lot of reflecting, and it made me see a lot about myself. So I wanted to make changes then. You know, I've been wanting to cut my hair for a long time, but I procrastinated on it for so long because of like the decision and how big it was, you know. But yeah, when we left the old house that we're staying in. You know, that's when I decided, like, yeah, I'm not going to move on to this new energy with this. You know, it's time for me to leave. It's time for me to move forward. It's time for me to grow. It's like I feel myself going through the transformation. You know, this was happening since August. You know, I felt myself transforming. I felt myself evolving into this new version of me, but I felt like I was stuck in the middle. I felt like I couldn't fully get through to the other side. I felt like there was still things blocking me, and I realized that all that was blocking me was myself. You know, I was holding myself back in multiple different ways. I was definitely holding myself back. You know, and I realized that my hair, it held a lot of baggage that I was taking with me, and I wasn't able to go to the next step because it's like I realized that this is too much, it's too heavy. You know, where I'm going is lighter, where I'm going is more love, it's more peaceful. You know, where I'm going, this energy won't have room. You know, there's no room for this where I'm going, this energy that is interlocked with my hair doesn't serve me anymore. And so I realized that it was time to let that go. It was time to let that go because the energy that came with that was no longer a vibrational match. It was no longer vibrating on the frequency that I was moving towards. So I had to cut my hair in order to go through this transformation. I had to cut my hair in order to get to the next level, in order to get to the next step. It's something that I had to do. Whether I wanted to do it or not. You know, if I didn't want to do it, it's just like I would be holding my own self back, and that was my decision. So yeah, I told my mom about it. Of course, she wasn't really pleased. You know, my mom was not for it for real, but she supported me. You know, she respected my decision. She allowed me to do what I needed to do. She gave me her advice, and I respected that. But of course, I did things the way that I wanted to. I respect her decision, and I will always listen to her opinions because she is my mom. But that doesn't mean that, you know, I'm going to pretty much let that control the way I move. You feel me? And that's something that I'm also detaching from. My mom's set of rules, my mom's overhouse. Although she raised me very, very well, and it helped the lifestyle, being Rastafarian helped to, let's get into that. That's also another reason why I had to cut my hair. So I love Rastafari. You know, I grew up in that Rastafarian culture. I absolutely love that. You feel me? The culture is amazing. I love the way that I was brought up, the way that I eat, the way that we dress. Like, yeah, you feel me? I'm all for that lifestyle. There was just certain aspects of that lifestyle I didn't fully agree with anymore. You know, I became more spiritually enlightened, and I started to realize that I shouldn't be bound to any lifestyle or liberty unless I want to be. You know, I love Rastafarian, but I don't want to just limit myself to that. You know, I want to experience. I want to be all and everything because that's what I am. I felt like just claiming to be Rastafarian was like, I felt like it was kind of not caging me, but kind of keeping me subjected to only one style of living, you know? Like you can't, like most Rastafarians, you gotta wear like a cover of a shirt. Women, you must cover your hair. Long skirts and dresses. When we don't eat meat, we don't eat dairy. Like if I'm for all of that, but there's just certain aspects of it. If I didn't want, you're not supposed to pierce or score your skin. I want my ears pierced. I want my nose pierced. They're not, but I do want them pierced. I do want to get a tattoo. It's like I do want to do certain things, but it's not for about style and fashion. It's about everything I do has meaning. It has purpose. And I started to realize that I have free will. I'm a being that I'm allowed to make my own decisions. If I want to do something that makes me feel better, you feel me? If I feel the need to do something, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with my heart and my feeling. You feel me? I'm not going to do something because I was growing up and taught not to. You feel me? So that's something that I want to experience on my own. And that's something I had to learn as well too. Now, I love my mom, and absolutely love the way that she brought us up. I'll forever thank her for that, because it built such a grounded foundation within myself when it comes to my identity and the way that I carry myself throughout life, the way that I grew up, it definitely helped me stay grounded in my goddess energy, because I naturally carried myself as a goddess. I grew up always carrying myself that way. If you always look at me since I was dressing when I was a young child, you feel me? I've always dressed like that because that's how I was brought up. So yeah, that's always been a part of me. It's just certain aspects of that lifestyle I didn't agree with, where I didn't want to just limit or associate myself to. I don't want to just bound myself to one way of living life. I want to experience life, I have free will. Like I said before, I want to make my own decisions, you feel me? And I want to go with my heart. My heart was telling me it was time to cut my hair. It was time to let go. Now, the Rastafarian culture would be against that. They're not about cutting. They don't allow cutting hair and stuff like that. Let's just say that they'll be against that, That's not what we stand for as Rastafarians. And growing up, even before I cut my hair, I made the choice to separate myself from that. I love that lifestyle, and it will always be a part of me. But I'm not going to just limit or bound myself just to that. I'm going to share. I want to live my life. I'm going to experience life based off of the way that I want to. I'm going to allow my soul and my heart to flow. I love the culture, but that's not all that I am. I have free will. I am a spiritual being. I'm an enlightened goddess here on this planet, experiencing life just like any other being, just like any other organism, just like any animal, just like any flower. I'm just a piece of source, a piece of stardust down here experiencing life on Earth. Or why should I have to limit myself to a certain way of living, eating, dressing? I don't have to do that unless I want to. You feel me? I'm about doing things that's best for me. Holding on to my hair was not what was best for me. You feel me? And some people wouldn't agree with that, and that's them. But I know my journey. I know what I've been through. I know the weight I felt when I had my locks. I know the weight that was attached to those locks. You feel me? I know that. Now, anybody else probably wouldn't. You feel me? But I do. And because I know the weight that it had on my shoulders, I know the way it made me feel, my heart told me it was definitely time to let go, because it was weighing too much. It was too heavy. It was time to cut those cords and let those cords go. It was time to do that. Of course, I could have done that without cutting my hair, but I wanted to cut my hair because it would have done that. The effect would have been more powerful, and I would have seen more drastic results, because my hair physically represents those cords. So it's like me doing that for myself and actually doing my cord cutting for me that way would have been a whole different level of me. And I felt like that would have been more beneficial for my journey, for me, for my healing. It would have been the best way for me to release everything all at once, and so that's what I chose to do. Of course, I procrastinated. It took me a while, but October 11th, I was moving, and I didn't want to go into a new house with that energy, so I cut it. And I did it with grace. At first, I wasn't crying at all because I've came to a place of acceptance with it, but I did cry, I did begin to cry. I'll probably end up posting the video of me cutting off all my hair so y'all can see that. But I did cry after a while because I started to realize, like, this hair, this identity, it's no longer me anymore, And that was difficult, accepting that it was no longer me. Like, accepting that energy was no longer me. It was definitely very difficult. It was very intense. It was very emotional, but I pushed through it. You know, me with my hair represented an outdated identity. That represented who I once was. That represented the old me. You feel me? I'm someone completely different now. I'm learning me. I've grown so much and changed so much. It's like, it's not fair for me to limit and bind myself to just that anymore. It's not fair to myself. And neither is fair to my locks. My locks wanted to be free. They didn't want to be attached anymore. You know, it was time for them to be recycled and to go back into being one with source on a different level. You know, they wanted to be released. They wanted to go. They wanted to be free. I wanted to be free. You know, those chains, they wanted to be broken, and I did what I felt, and I did that. You know, and I'm proud of it. I do not regret cutting my hair, not one bit. I don't regret it at all. I'm glad that I did it, and if I had my hair, I would do it again. You know, specifically because of the relief that I felt. After I cut my hair, I felt so light. I literally felt the chakra above my crown. Like, my head was so light. I could feel the chakra above my crown. I felt the magnetism over my head, and I felt the heaviness that was attached to that gone. I felt so light. I felt like I felt a way that I've never felt before in my entire life. And that's when I knew that I had made the right decision. Because the way that I felt after and before was completely two different feelings. And ever since I cut my hair, it has been a lot of shedding. It has been a lot of reassociating. It's been me finding, not even finding, it's been me building a new identity. You know, it's me finding who I am again. It's me learning who I am. You know, I'm taking the time to get to know this new me. I don't like the same things that I like anymore. I don't do the same things that I do anymore. I don't think the same way that I used to think. It's simply because I'm growing off that. And so it has been a struggle and a journey, leaving those old traits and aspects of me behind, you know, choosing to let them go and be free. It has been a lot, you know, because it's like, that's all that I know, you know, that's all that I've been taught. That's all that I've always had it, you know, it's always been a part of me. That's all that I know. So me letting everything that I know away and completely go and like reforming something completely new, it makes me feel lost sometimes, you know. A couple of weeks ago, when I first cut my hair, I felt lost. Like, I didn't know my place in the world. I felt like I didn't know where I belonged. That's why I didn't post for that long. That month or so I didn't post is because I was going through that. My last post, which was about, you know, me and my hair, which was the last picture you see of me with my hair on my page, that was me writing a poem to myself, expressing how me cutting my hair felt and expressing, like, what it means for me. So you guys can go back and read that. And yeah, you guys can go on my Instagram page at princess_makeda_y and go and read that and see that for yourselves, you know, and you can read my testimony on it. But that was me going through the shedding. That was me going through the realization. That was me going through the re-identifying of myself. So yeah, like it's been a big journey, you know. It's been a lot, but it's been major growth. It's been nothing but major success ever since, and I've seen so much growth and change within myself since I did cut my hair. I felt so much at peace with myself, you know. It's been very painful because a lot of things that I thought I've dealt with, a lot of pain that I thought I've dealt with, a lot of people that I thought I forgave are coming back up into my life right now, and I know this is just because it's time for them to go. And so everything that was unresolved is coming to the forefront. So me cutting my hair definitely helped to bring up all those cords that was once attached. All those cords are coming up and they're getting released. So yeah, me cutting my hair was a ceremony. It was a cord cutting ceremony for me. It was me evolving to the next level. It was a rebirth for me, you know. It was death. I just died. I'm reborn now. So that's what cutting my hair was basically all about. That's mainly the reason why I did cut my hair. It was just to let go and to release those old contracts, those old programmings, release that trauma, that abuse, because that sexual abuse played a very significant part in my journey so far in my life. You know, that was a very big moment for me. I was depressed during that time, and nobody knew because I didn't show up as depressed, you know. I suppressed it. I suppressed that depression, and yeah, that's what I've been through. But I'm here today. I'm choosing to heal. I'm choosing to grow. I'm choosing to love and move forward with confidence. And I'm rocking this. You know, when I first cut my hair, I didn't feel confident. I didn't really like fit. I didn't like myself, you know. I looked in the mirror like, what the fuck and who the fuck am I? It's just like I don't know what I am anymore. I don't know who this is, because it was all new to me. I would never seen myself without hair, so it's just like I don't think people really understood how life-changing that was for me, you know. I had my locks all my life, so it's like with them being gone, it's like it was a whole re-identifying process. Hey Azu, hey brother, how you doing? But yeah, it was a whole process for me. It was a whole journey. Like, I don't regret it at all. Definitely needed to. Sending infinite love, woman. Sending love to you too, bro. It's been on my mind, just so you know. But I do want to talk to you whenever you get the chance. Don't know whenever that's going to be, but sending infinite love your way too. I love you, brother. Always. But yeah, I've done a lot of forgiving. Right now I'm doing a lot of forgiving. I'm doing a lot of releasing. Everything that I haven't fully healed from is coming to the forefront. Everything is just coming up. It's all coming into my face now. You know, I'm seeing everything for what it is, and yeah, it's just been great. You know, I don't regret it. I don't regret anything. I feel like everything served a purpose. I'm proud and I'm happy, and this is what I want for myself. I'm going places, and I love that, you know. So I'm entering this new phase of my journey with grace. With grace, I'm grateful, you know, with gratitude, with value. I really hope that this story time was empowering to some of you. I hope that some of you guys were inspired by this. I hope that my journey helps to bring some form of healing to some of you. Anyone that's going through this experience, or anyone that has been thinking about cutting their hair for this reason, I'm living proof that you should. I'm all for it. You feel me? I'm definitely all for it. Yeah, so yeah, I just really wanted to put this out there for you guys, because I've been getting so many questions on why did you do it? Why did you do it? Why did you cut your hair? I can't believe you did. So here you go. Here goes the full shebang bang on why it happened and when it happened and the whole nine. But yeah, I'm really proud, you know. I feel great. I want to say that I'm still learning. As me. I'm still growing. I'm taking my time. You know, I'm learning to surrender, and it has been a very intense journey for me. But the bright side is here, and I'm feeling it. I am feeling it. You know, the shadow phase has been a wonderful phase, and I'm happy I was able to heal from that. So I'm no longer suppress anything. I no longer suppress myself. I will no longer create any shadows for myself. I love my shadows, and I want to work with them, you know. I choose to help bring them to the light by recognizing them and forgiving myself, letting them know it's okay. And so that's where I'm at right now in my journey. Like, you know, that's literally where I'm moving forward to, whereas I'm not the same person I was before. I just wanted to let that be known. So the person that you used to know, if you're watching this and we grew up together, or if you knew me from back then, that's no longer me, baby. So if you have expectations of me to be that way, I'm letting you know now, you might as well let them go. I won't be surprised if you're no longer going to be a part of my life anymore, because you're no longer vibrating on the frequency that I'm on, and that's completely fine. I'm at peace with that. I feel like what's meant for me will always be for me, you know, and what's not will, you know, be where it's supposed to be. No love lost, no hate towards anyone. I love everybody. I don't regret being nowhere else in my life. I'm grateful for everyone that I have encountered, for everyone that I've met in my life. I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had with everyone that I've met. I'm grateful for all of you, all of you guys, and I don't regret meeting not one of you. I don't regret not one situation I've had, even if it's negative or bad, you know. I don't regret it because it brought me here. I've learned from that. I've healed from that, you know, and that's a major part of my journey. That's a major part of acceptance. So yeah, it feels really beautiful to be here today. It feels really amazing to say this, to actually have the story time, to tell you guys about what went on, to tell you guys about my life, and to just kind of explain the phase of my life that I'm currently in. So I just want to put this out there, you know. If any of you guys are going through this, any of you guys went through this, I want to let you know, like, you can do this, you can make it through. I'm living proof I did, so you can too, you know. Just put yourself first and do what needs to be done. Follow your heart. Listen to your intuition. You're going to get the signs. They're going to tell you, but don't ignore it like I did. Okay? Accept it and move forward. Heal, forgive, and release. You know, there's no need There's no need to get revenge when there's karma, baby. There's no need to get revenge when there's karma. There's no way to hold a grudge when you can forgive with love, because at the end of the day, we all serve the purpose, you know? It's not about who hurt you, it's about how did you learn from that pain. That's the key right there. At least I think so. So yeah, I really hope that this helped to bring some sort of light and healing to you guys. Thank you everyone for watching today. That's basically all that I have for you guys. Literally. I might do another story time separately on my abuse, but I think I went very in-depth into it, so I might just add it into this. But yeah, I love it here. I love this new phase and journey of my life. And so thank you guys for always being with me. Thank you to my family. Gratitude to everyone. I'm becoming a better me, so I could become a better me for everyone. For myself, for my partner, for my collective, you feel me? For my peoples, for my followers, for my supporters. You feel me? I'm being better for me, so I can be better for everyone. Because the only way I can help heal you guys is by healing me first. And that's what I'm learning. This is what I know, and so I'm implementing that, you know? But y'all won't see a lot of new things coming from me, because this is a new me. Welcome to my new world, and thank you all for being here with me in it. Now, of course, I'm gonna celebrate myself. Woo! Yes. Of course, definitely always gonna celebrate me, because I did that. I did that. You best believe I definitely did. Oh my God. He said, I was definitely shocked that you did it. I appreciate you sharing. Anytime. Thank you so much. Appreciate love you. Princess, why'd you cut it? I missed it. Well, the whole story time was about that. Damn, you did miss it. But long story short, I cut my hair to let go of the old me and to let go of all the old experiences that I used to let define me. You know, I went through those experiences, but they don't define me. And me cutting my hair is me releasing all the chains and, you know, all the barriers, me releasing all the restrictions that I placed for myself and that I let other people place on me. You know, my hair was holding me back from my spiritual evolvement and growing. Me cutting my hair was a spiritual thing. It was about growth. I cut my hair for cord cutting purposes. Me cutting my hair was a cord cutting ceremony, and it was a death and a rebirth for me. So it was amazing. You know, I appreciate it. But that's mainly why they cut it. It's because of healing, and it's because of letting go, detachment, and surrendering. I'm surrendering to the divine because that's what I feel like doing. So I'm going to trust myself, and I'm going to do that with grace. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here though, because I've been on here for like an hour and 26 minutes. Not even an hour, because 60 minutes is an hour. It's been 126 minutes. So I'm definitely going to hop off here. But I love you guys so much. Thank you to all my supporters. Thank you for everyone that knows me. Thank you for everyone that values me. Gratitude for everyone that's watching this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying all the way through. I appreciate you for listening to my story. Drop a comment down below if you want to say something. All right, if anything you want me to hear, just drop it down below. I'll do my best to reply to you once I see it, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on YouTube, or whatnot. All right, but I love you guys. More content coming soon, more videos coming soon, more story times coming soon. So let me know if y'all like this story time, if y'all want more story times, because I got y'all. But yeah, just letting y'all know, peace, love, and oneness to everyone. Thank you guys for being here, and I will definitely see you guys next time. All right, so I'm gonna tap out. Peace, love, and oneness, and see you guys soon. Be great. Bye.